So now that those two posts are in, we only have one more post left to do. Elijah's finishing tamping in this corner one, and then we still have to aug out the other hole that's by the gate. But I think next I'm going to go ahead and run some string lines all the way around so I can get the second set of brackets in. Because I'll have to get them in for our bottom board, because we're going to do a bottom board like I said before. So I'm going to get some brackets out, get a string line ran, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have the new line running. That's that orange line all the way down to the end over there. And so the bottom of our tie will be at the bottom, at the top of that line. Okay, time to get them attached. The bottom joist hangers at the bottom of all the posts. So we have all of those in. So next I'm going to start cutting the wood, and then we also finish putting in the ones for the wood boards up here also. So I'm going to start getting all the wood cut down so that we can get it stained and put into its respectful places. But I do like what it's looking like with the bottom. Even though the board's not there yet, I think it's going to add some stability to the actual fence line. And then also, Elijah's going to aug out this hole for me today. We didn't do any of the joist hangers or this one because we are waiting until we get this one in so I can just run a continuous string line all the way around to those guys. So I'm going to go get all the wood that we have, and then we will start assembly. Our sawhorses are in the storage container and not going over there to go get them. So we're using my little table that I've had for years. Okay, first cut down. Okay, so we have 4 boards cut. I'm gonna go ahead and slot them in now, and then we'll probably end up staining them later today, but I don't want them just hanging around because it might confuse us on which one was cut for where if we just put them in one big pile. These are pretty darn straight. So we're just gonna slot these in, and then we'll just yank them back out later, so we won't put any of the screws in or anything. But this one, oh no, that actually ended up turning out perfect. It's a little short, but not too bad.
Yeah.
Come on. There.
Looks like a little barb.
Isn't it so cute? Okay, so this is what it looks like so far on this side. It looks so weird having the bottom on there because we didn't have it previously, so it's just odd. But it should help with the stability of the mesh, because where we did the entrance, that mesh hasn't loosened, and it might be because it's attached on two places rather than just on one like these were. So at least that will give some stability, and then we'll still have the mesh that goes into the ground. So before we actually install those, we'll dig like a little trench out. And then once we get, I'm going to keep working and get the rest of these cut, and then I'll check back in with you once I am done cutting all these. And then once those are cut, I'll attach the mesh. So that will give us the go ahead to start digging out all of this area and get it level. This side for the grass. And then I think we're debating if we want to do rocks or pavers on this side. So I really think we're going to do like a fun paver design. So yeah, that's where we're at. I will see you when I get done cutting. Okay, so I have all the new pieces cut and installed, going all the way around. So the last thing that we're going to have to work on, like I said before, is auging out this hole, getting the post in there, and then I can cut the slats for here. And then once I do that, these slats can go in right now, but we're going to hold off on that until we get this one in, so then we can just run the line all the way across. Or I don't know, maybe we might put them in now, but we'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and stop here for now. The kids are awake, so it is now time for breakfast, of course. Elijah's going to take on the project of staining these. This light I'm going to move here so that we have some symmetry, because there'll be an empty space, a light, empty space, and then another light, and then an empty space, because I just need it to be symmetric. And then we'll put the other light over here, and then the other light will be on the exact, same area, but on the other side. And then I need to go in also where the kids are eating to draw up plans for how we want to do the gate. The extra pieces, like this one, and it's leaning up over here. You can't really see it, but it's behind that one. I figured that instead of wasting the pieces of wood, well, not wasting, but using it somewhere else, or having to store it, I'm going to use those first to make the gate out of. Since they're already stained, they'll be the perfect size for the gate. It's going to be 3 feet wide, maybe 3.5 feet. We'll see once we get the post in. And then I already bought the latch and the gate hinges, so all I have to do is just attach those. We're trying to figure out if we want to do like a notched in gate. So like where you take the wood and you slice it in half, and then the other piece that crosses it will sit so that they both flush and they both end up equaling like 2 inches, rather than having them be bulky. But I don't know if we're that good yet, so we're gonna see. But if not, we'll just attach it just like normal and just have a little bit of bulkier gate, which wouldn't be too bad, because then it will allow us and the kids to abuse it a little bit more and don't have to worry about it falling apart. But we are gonna have some wood left over, because based on measurements, the last few pieces that go in this front corner, that is right here, the last few pieces for there, I should be able to use half a board. I was able to do that on some other sections on here as well, so that saved us some wood. The offcuts that we have left over, me and Elijah took a break really quick, and we went to the front wall section. Went up there, to the wall up there, and we took some of the offshoots up there, and our little frame that we have on the block wall, we'll be able to use those offshoots to do the frames for the 56-foot section of the block wall. So that is nice, because I'm trying to get pretty much every single piece of wood that we have used, and we're going to have some extra full ones, but we'll also have some offcuts that we now have a use for, which will be very, very good, because we're trying to not waste material. We're trying to use everything that we can, everything that we have, because we don't want to be wasteful, because then that's just horrible. Other than that, I'm going to stop here. This will not be the end of the video, because we're going to come back out. I'm pretty sure after breakfast the kids are going to want to come out and play, so they can play out here, and Girlie's going to be excited when she sees the play area, because she's been asking us when it's going to be done, because little man has a tendency, they like to play soccer, and so he doesn't understand the concept of kicking the ball yet. So he picks the ball up and he thinks it's funny to throw it outside of the play area so that she has to go get it. So I told her, once it's fenced in, he can't throw it out anymore. You guys are trapped in here. So she was happy about that, but she'll be excited to realize that, the play area is almost done. Then it's just going to be a lot of digging for Elijah and I. We only have to dig maybe 6 inches down, so that we can prepare for pavers and then prepare the grass and everything. But yeah, we're going to head inside and I will see you in a little bit. Bye. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off really quick. Okay, so I'm going to turn that off really quick, but Elijah got the stove working. Pretty much we just had to run the propane. He capped everything off outside, so now we have a functioning stove. So first thing of business is pancakes. And then I'm going to make something extra special so that we can test out the oven, make sure that everything is good and working, because we want to cook for the holidays. So okay, quick check-in. We have the corner ogged out. Elijah ogged that out for me, and so he is almost done tamping that one in. As you can see, he only has a little bit left to go. So all of the posts are in the ground. So right now, once he finishes tamping that in, I'll get the brackets that are going to hold the slats on this post and then on the rest of the posts over here. But right now, what I'm working on while I'm waiting for him is figuring out the gate. So these are the 2 pieces that we had left over that used to be slats on the other side. Like I said, we're trying to use everything that we can. Those are going to be the perfect height for the gate. So I went ahead and cut this one down to match the size of this one. I just have to take off the little light, and that's going to get attached on the slat over there once it gets stained. But I think we are going to do an attempt at a pocket hole attachment. So rather than having to attach the board, like this on the corners where it's on top of each other and it creates like a little thick, area, we're going to try and attach it like this and then drill pocket holes into it so that it can hold it up. So we've never done that before, so we're going to see how that goes. But right now what I'm going to do is I need to figure out the width going across for the gate, and then get some pieces of wood to cut down for that. And then we're going to have a cross brace that goes across as well. So what we'll probably end up doing is also attaching a little cross brace. I believe, I double check the way that it's supposed to go. I think it's supposed to go top to bottom with the top part of the cross brace on the part that's hinged. I have to double check and see because it helps prevent sagging of the gate. But I'm going to go ahead, I think, and then for that piece, I think we're going to see, since we have some extra wood, we're going to try our hand at a 2 angle cut on the ends so that it will kind of slip right into the corner, so that we don't have, we're trying to make it as non-bulky as possible because we're using 2x4s for the gate. I kind of feel like I should have used a 2x2 or something like that, but I think it'll be good for the weight because we have big 4x4 posts in the corner, so I think the weight will be fine. But we're trying to eliminate as much weight as we can off of the gate, especially with it needing to swing. So I'm gonna get some measurements for the gate, and then I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, update. All of the slats are in, going all the way across to that side. Okay, so with all the boards in, they're not screwed in because we do still have to stain them. So with all the boards in, I think I'm pretty much going to, Elijah's going to stain them. We can't attach them until we stain them, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do next because I also can't attach any of the mesh until those get stained either. So pretty much I'm in limbo while Elijah is finishing up what he's working on. He did get the corner post tamped in, so that's done. This one that's in this corner over here, he still has to just get that one tamped in. It's just a little bit off. And then I already started working on the gate. I haven't gotten too far with it, so yeah, that's basically where we're at. Everything's going good so far, but it looks really cool and it looks nice. So we're doing good work.